Hey guys, so today I want to give you a full overview of Adobe Fresco, which is an online Adobe program that I use on my iPad Pro that I have here with my Apple Pencil. And I use this program to do digital drawings. And I have here a drawing that I did as a painting, so you can do paintings digitally in the program. You can do logos, create vector art, and all of that. So I want to give a full overview of the program so that you can see how it works and how you can create something like I did here in the program. Okay guys, so we have Adobe Fresco opened up here, and this is the drawing that I did, a digital drawing painting of a floral arrangement on a windowsill. So I want to give you guys just a basic overview really quickly of what you see here as far as tools. And on the left here, you see all of your tools. And on the right over here, you see your different layers. So with the layers, this is similar to any Adobe program that you would use, Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, where you have your different layers. Probably more similar to Photoshop, where you would want to have a different layer for everything. It just makes it easier to group things. If you need to change anything, then you can go directly to that layer. You won't have to worry about messing up your whole picture. You can just have a layer like I have here for the outline, a different layer for the water in the vase, and then a layer for the floral arrangement itself, as well as the windowsill and the background. So I've done everything in separate layers. I did do this from another image as a reference. So I'm going to bring this layer up top so that you can see it. And so if you want to bring in an object or a picture that you'll use as a reference, or multiple pictures, then you would just go over here to your tools, and you would come over here to the picture icon, and then you can place in a different image that you can use as a background layer or a reference. So you can bring it in via the camera, your photo app, files, Creative Cloud, all of those different options, and then you would place your image into your file here. So I had the floral arrangement here that I used. I did make the vase different, and I added in my background, which was the windowsill and the window that you can see through with the sky and the greenery. So this is my reference layer here, and I'm going to bring it back to the bottom. I just kind of wanted to show you guys how you would bring that back in. And when you want to move a layer, you just drag it down with your pencil or your finger. And the next step was for me to create this pixel layer with the outline. So I'm going to turn these off really quickly, and you just use the eyeball just to turn your layers on and off. Select them, and you can see that I have my image layer here. And what you can do if you want to make the transparency a little lighter so that you can see your drawing better, you would just go to this option here for your layer properties, and you can change the layer opacity and bring it down a bit so that it's lighter, and you can see your drawing with just a little hint of the picture in the background. So sometimes I just freestyle and draw things from scratch, or sometimes I'll put it back there and just kind of trace over my line drawing first before I get into the painting. So this is what I did first, was my pixel layer with the line drawing. And then from there, I'll just turn this off, and I'll turn my background off, and show you guys that the next step was actually painting the flowers within the line drawing. So in order to do that, I did use some of my different brushes. Now the brushes here that you have the pixel brushes, you have the live brushes, and you have the vector brushes. So I just want to point out the vector brushes really quickly. The vector brushes is what you would use if you want to do a vector illustration, if you're doing logos or anything that you want to keep in vector format, and something that you can bring into Illustrator and you can scale up or down. So when you use the vector brushes for those reasons, you would have to only use the vector brushes for that project. So this particular project that I worked on is a drawing, painting. So I didn't use a vector brush because I didn't need to keep it as a vector image. And I use the pixel brushes and the live brushes. So the pixel brushes here give you a lot of different options of different paintbrush styles that you can use: canvas brush, pencil, blocky, mixer, Blair. And so I'm just going to go into this blank layer here, this empty layer, and I have a green color selected, and I'm going to bring this down. This is the size of your brush, and I'll just show you guys. This is a thin, smaller size of the brush. And this particular brush is the canvas flat brush. So if you bring it up to a bigger size, then you see that it becomes more like a paintbrush kind of look. So you see how you can get so many different effects by using not only the different brushes, but also changing the size as well. And let's take a look at the live brushes, which are really great. You can have a nice watercolor effect. You can do a spatter effect. So that's what's selected here now. So let's just go ahead and see what we have for the spatter effect. So this is really cool, and this is what you can use like if you want to have an abstract look. And sometimes I just kind of add this in the background of some of the paintings once they're done, just to give it a cool effect. So that's always nice to use. And then you can use a watercolor wash soft. So I love the watercolors because they really look like watercolors. They come out like you're actually painting. And then we're going to go with a different color. Let's see if we use like a blue. And then you'll be able to see how it blends together. So it really looks like you're actually watercoloring with a paintbrush. And the colors just kind of blend together. So that's so cool. Another brush that you can use is the oil paint brush. So these are some of the recent ones that I've used. You can actually see all of the brushes. So they give you a lot of different watercolor brushes and then the oil brushes. So we'll go with a oil paint round. And let's go back to our green color. And you see the oil. The oil paintbrush looks a little bit different. And you see what happened when I pulled into the blue? It blended it. So these brushes really do act like paint brushes, right? Where you can blend and add in some different colors. Let's add in some pink. And it actually is like really painting in there. It doesn't just add the color right on top. You see if it blends into the green, it gets some of the green in there. So these brushes are really great, really cool. You can do a lot of great mixing and blending with them. And some other things that they have here is the eraser tool if you need to erase anything. And it's not just a simple eraser. They have a lot of different options here, just like they do for the brushes. So you can choose a gritty effect or a hard round effect. So whatever you want to do for your erasers, you have that option there. You have the smudge brush tool there. And you have the, let's go into this layer with my lines, and you can see that you can transform it, you can move it around, you can skew it, you can distort the layer, and you can do perspective. So you can do a lot with these options here. And then you do have the lasso tool if you wanted to lasso anything. And then delete, let's go in this layer, maybe delete that color out here, and we will erase it. And you see it took that color out, and then you can deselect it. Now another thing that you can do, which is cool, we'll go and do another lasso effect. Close lasso. And then you can actually go with this paint bucket option and just fill in an area. And if you had a line drawing that was completely closed, then you can just fill it in with that tool so that you don't have to paint it and use the paintbrush. You can just simply hit it with that paint bucket and fill it with color. And then if you want to add some text, then you can do that. You can scale it. Let's scale it to 52. And you can choose your different fonts. So that is definitely cool if you want to just put your text directly into the program and you don't want to bring it in. I personally like to bring this into Photoshop or Illustrator and do my text there, but you do have the option to do it directly in Adobe Fresco as well. And then you have your eyedropper tool to select colors as needed. You see it has the color numbers up at the top right up here. And then you have the place option, which I've already shown you guys, and this is your color wheel, so you can select whatever color you like. So I think that shows you guys what you can do with all of the tools, and then what you can do with your layering over here. We're going to go ahead and turn all of our layers back on just so that we can see the full image. So here's the full picture, the full painting. And so I just kind of added in these little leaves at the bottom that have fallen off just to help with the composition. And I thought it would be really cool to have the flowers sitting on a windowsill looking outside. So I added in the windowsill and the outside after. And so those are just separate layers that I created. So there you have it, guys. That is a basic overview. And once you have your full image completed, then you can go ahead and export it out. So when you go to publish and export, it does give you some different options. You can do JPEG, you can do PNG, you can do PSD or PDF. So you have your publish and export, then you can do a quick export as well, where you can airdrop it. So I'll typically like airdrop the PDF to my MacBook Pro, where I can open it up in the program. You can send it via text, email, social media, or you can print it directly from your tablet. You also have the option to open a copy directly into Illustrator for iPad or desktop, and you can share the link and send that via email or text, and then they will be able to just open the link. So then they have a great preview time-lapse option, so you can export out a time-lapse video of your drawing. So I'm going to show you guys a time-lapse video of this drawing from when I created it originally, and you can see how that looks. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial on Adobe Fresco. I hope you guys learned a lot and you can see what you can do in this program. So if you liked it, then give me the thumbs up, and if you have any other suggestions on other tutorials that you would like me to cover, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks, bye.